The bond between your twin daughters is very strong, and if you don't do something about Bose's visit to Bamike as soon as possible, she will die and join her twin sister. Those were the words the herbalist said to Bamike's mother. The day Bose died, something in Bamike also died. The laughter in her eyes, the spring in her steps, the joy she once brought into every room, all vanished like smoke. Bose wasn't just her twin sister, she was her best friend, her confidant, her other half. They had shared everything: clothes, food, secrets, dreams. They even had a habit of completing each other's sentences. So when Bose passed away suddenly after a brief illness, it felt as if the universe had played a cruel joke on Bamike. At first, everyone thought she was just grieving. It was understandable. They were identical twins and had never spent a day apart. But as months passed by, it became clear that this was no ordinary grief. Bamike changed. She began talking to herself, crying alone, and laughing randomly at odd hours. She would get dressed sometimes and attempt to leave the house. When asked where she was going, she would say softly with a smile, "I'm going to meet Bose." She started having sleepless nights. Her parents would hear her talking and laughing with someone late at night, sometimes crying, sometimes playing like she was reliving a childhood memory. Her parents would open the door gently, only to find her alone, facing the wall or the window, whispering, giggling, or sobbing. Bose says she misses you too, Mom, she once said, smiling blankly at her mother who stood frozen at the door. Her parents were devastated. They had lost one daughter, and now it felt like they were losing the other. They couldn't leave her alone, even for a minute. They followed her everywhere, except to the bathroom or toilet. Her mother barely slept, watching over her day and night. Her father tried to be strong, but often cried silently in his room. Bamike's belief that her sister was still alive. She insisted Bose wasn't dead, just somewhere else. She's not gone. She visits me every night. We talk, we laugh, we even plan things together, she would say with calm certainty that frightened everyone. The situation got worse. She stopped talking to anyone in the house. The only voice she acknowledged was Bose's. Her food often remained untouched. She spent hours in her room. Her laughter and tears would echo down the hallway like haunting melodies. Her parents took her to the hospital, but the doctors couldn't find anything physically wrong with her. Some recommended psychiatric evaluation, but her parents were reluctant. They feared the stigma and felt it wasn't madness. They believed her soul was tied to Bosses in a spiritual way. In desperation, they turned to a renowned herbalist known for untying spiritual bonds. He took a large sum of money from them and performed several cleansing rituals, giving them charms and herbs. But nothing changed. Bamike remained the same. They went to a second herbalist. So many rituals was performed, yet nothing changed. Then another one, the third herbalist. He collected a large sum of money and claimed to know exactly what to do. He performed different ceremonies, yet the result was the same. Bamike remained trapped in her world with Bose. The parents became exhausted, emotionally and financially. One night, her father broke down and sobbed like a child, begging God to save his only surviving daughter. They decided to turn to God. They began inviting different pastors to the house to pray for their daughter and family. The air was often thick with the sound of prayers, chants, and casting out of spirits. During the prayers, Bamike would sit still, sometimes laughing, other times screaming. Afterwards, she would appear calm for a day or two, then go back to her usual routine. This went on for almost a year. Bamike's school had to expel her temporarily. Teachers could no longer manage her behavior. She would often stand up during lessons and start talking to Bose. Some days she would cry uncontrollably in class. Other students were terrified. Parents began warning their children to avoid her. Friends stopped visiting her. Bamike became a ghost in the real world. Silent, invincible, isolated. She didn't seem to care. She had Bose, and that was enough for her. So one evening, a spiritualist told her parents something that sent chills down their spines. If you don't do something fast, Bamike will join her twin sister on the 1 year anniversary of her death. Same date, same hour. Fear gripped them. They increased the prayers, fasted day and night. They begged, they pleaded, they held her hands and cried, Bamike, please don't leave us. We love you. You are all we have left. But it was like speaking to a wall. One night, her mother walked into her room and saw her sitting on the floor, talking and laughing as usual. This time, something snapped in her. She knelt down beside her daughter, her heart breaking into pieces. With tears streaming down her face, she said, Bosse, I know you are here. I know you miss your sister. But please, if you ever loved me, your father, or your twin sister, please let her go. Let her live. She's all we have left. I know it's hard for you both, but she belongs to the living. Please, don't take her with you. Let her grow. Let her live. For the first time, Bamike looked truly conflicted. Her eyes welled up as she watched her mother cry. That night, when her mother left the room, Bamike turned to Bose by her bed. I love you, Bose, but I need to leave. Everything is falling apart. I've lost everyone. I can't go to school. I can't make friends. People think I'm mad. Bose stood silently, her eyes full of sorrow. I was never trying to harm you. I just missed you, and I didn't want you to be all alone, she said. I know, Bamike said, weeping, but I can't be with you anymore. If I stay like this, I'll die too. Mom and dad will then be alone, and I don't want that. Please stop visiting me. She nodded slowly. I understand. But before I go, I want to say goodbye properly. Call mom and dad. Let me speak to them. Bamike called out to her parents. Her voice was shaky but clear. Mom, Dad, she wants to say goodbye. They both rushed in, confused. As Bose spoke, Bamike repeated every word out loud, tears rolling down their cheeks. I'm sorry for the pain I caused. I love you all so much. I don't want to leave, but I had to. Mom, Dad, please take good care of Bamike. Don't let her forget me, but help her to live. I'll be back, I promise. As she said her final goodbye, Bamike broke down. Her parents held her close, weeping with her. The next few weeks were quiet. Bamike stopped talking to herself. The house was peaceful again. Her healing was slow but steady. She returned to school. Many still avoided her, but she found her way back, one step at a time. The 1 year remembrance of Bose came and passed. Nothing happened to Bamike. Things began to fall back to normal, and life began to take shape again. Then one morning, months later, her mother called her and her father into the living room. Her mother was smiling, holding something in her hands. She said, "I went to the clinic, beaming with joy, and I'm pregnant." Bamike screamed with joy and began to dance around the room. Her father laughed loud for the first time in a long while. They all started dancing. In the middle of their dance, Bamike turned and looked towards the window. Standing there was Bose, smiling faintly. "I told you I'll be back," she seemed to say. A chill ran down Bamike's spine, but it wasn't fear, it was peace. She smiled back and whispered, "Welcome back, sister." And just like that, the shadow lifted for good. And that was the last time Bamike ever saw Bose again. Now we have come to the end of another beautiful story. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.